on the East Coast at SCG Live, hashtag SCGNJ. We love to chat with you. You can also tweet at Gerard and I's personal Twitter accounts because, I mean, we check them.
Yeah, we do.
We check them all the time. So we're going to start here with Turtenwald versus Swatkins.
All right, awesome. Turtenwald versus Swatkins. All right.
That's a fun last name. I like that last name.
All right, so Owen Turtenwald is on the right with those sleeves. And we'll see what happens.
Gerard, you can say it. You can say
it. I wasn't sure.
You can say what there. People can read, Gerard.
No, they can't.
The Channel Fireball sleeves. That's what they are. No, I just got fired apparently. All right.
All right. So Owen's gonna bust out a
new prop Guild Mage is what's gonna start this game.
Guild Mage is pretty impressive, especially with that Stealer of Secrets in his hand.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice combo. Oh, although there's the Pegasus to stop it.
Concordia Pegasus 1/3 flyer. We'll see if Turtenwald's going to get in here. Also, we're going to see if he has a third land, because as you said, he does have Stealer of Secrets.
Yeah, he does
and
not
he does just pass the turn back. Okay.
Yeah.
So Swatkins with his 1/3. Maybe he starts the turn off by attacking. He certainly has another land to go along with that Temple Garden in a forest.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Lots of times you keep the 2-landers limited on the play, and ever so often you're going to break off.
Yeah.
But it's right to keep, especially with the Guild Mage, especially with Stealer of Secrets.
Yeah,
having a place, having an island.
His hand is certainly good.
Yeah, of course.
He just needs to draw some lands here. Doesn't want to get screwed forever, but certainly does want to be able to play the game. And he certainly has some good cards in his hand as well. So you're going to see the Concordia Pegasus come on across. Turtenwald can give his guy flying right now just to block. Maybe Swatkins is trying to induce here.
I think if I was Owen, I would do that. Yeah, I would want him to maybe waste his turn.
All right. Well, Centaur Herald will just pass the turn back. So no trick there, no burst of strength, no giant.
There's the planes.
There is the planes there. Also, what this allows too is that it allows Turtenwald to attack. So Swatkins tries to get a point of damage through. Turtenwald calls his bluff, blocks, and now Turtenwald, as a result, gets 2 points of damage across. So this might seem minor right now, but Swatkins just doesn't attack, and he's still at 20.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know why he would attack there. You know. All right.
Now there's a Windrake.
No Stealer Secrets. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think Stealer is probably, a little bit worse right now. It seems like the thing I don't like about Stealer Secrets, you see a Centaur Herald on the ground looming to make a Centaur, and the Concordia Pegasus in the air with 3 toughness. It just seems very difficult to get through.
Sure, just a threat of Stealer Secrets, though, sometimes allows your opponent to play in a way because they're so afraid of you drawing a card.
Sure.
Or you never know, maybe Owen will draw a creature enchantment if he has something, or you never really know. Yeah.
Well, Turtenwald going to tap 2 mana here. He's going to play a Syndic of Ties. Now, this is a card that's kind of interesting to me. Obviously, this is one of the better cards and commons across the entire format.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But you saw this in Orzhov. You saw it in Boros in Gatecrash Limited. See Swatkins making a Centaur there off of the Centaur's Herald. But now it gives Azorius deck something they did not have before, which is Reach. They had the Splash before for maybe like a teleportal type effect. Well, no longer do they do that, as Syndic of Ties both fits their curve and does allow them to get a little reach in their deck to the X-Store.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good point. Yeah. All right, so there's land number 5 for Swatkins. Golgari Longlegs. Ooh.
So that's a 5/4 that's bigger than basically everything on the board right now. A pretty juicy detain target for that new Frog Guild Mage if Turtenwald is able to get himself up to 5 lands. He's hit his 4th land drop here, so 2 islands and 2 plains. We'll see if he has a 4-mana spell to play. Maybe it's time for Stealer Secrets plus an Extort.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that play right there. Just, build your board. As long as you have the Syndicate of Tides, you're not really worried about taking a lot of damage because you're getting life back. Instead, I think Owen might go for something with like an Eyes in the Skies I see in his hand.
He does have Eyes in the Skies in his hand. He also has a Soulsworn Jury in his hand. That's the 2/1, what some people call the Tickle Monster with its long arms. That's out there to detain something, and then it's unblockable.
Sure. So the whole team's coming in.
So this is the power of green-white, right? This is what we saw in Return to Ravnica.
Yeah.
You attack with your creatures here, your Golgari Longlegs, your Centaur token, your Pegasus. You say, all right, man, best of luck blocking, Turtenwald, as there are a million tricks I can have, and that is only magnified by the fact that Blood Rush exists now, too.
All right, so he's ordering the blockers?
Yep. So first, second.
I think I might have wanted to kill that Syndicate of Tides. What do you think?
I mean, Newfroth Guildmage it seems like the more dangerous card because it has all sorts of text, it has 2 abilities, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it might be the Syndicate Ties that's the more dangerous of them, as now Turtenwald's going to play an Eyes in the Skies after Swatkins
drops a 4/6.
turn. Yeah, he plays the 4/6, the Armored Wolf Rider.
Yep, there it is. So just a couple of monsters on the on Swatkins' side of the table.
So Turtonwald's going to put those 2 penguins into play. Those will be your bird tokens. We'll see if we can get some real ones out there for you guys, just so we can represent those correctly. But Owen does draw another land. Now he has an island, so 5th land drop is here. Going to put that into play, and now Gerard, he can start doing things like playing his 4 drops and detaining with them.
Yeah, see,
and extorting with them.
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing here is that if you would have played the Stealer of Secrets instead of the Windrake that one turn, the Stealer of Secrets would be in play over that Windrake, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and now he's able to play the 2/1, detain Swatkin's only blocker, and he's able to draw an extra card, right?
Sure.
So I'm still curious about why Windrake over the Stealer of Secrets.
It's a good question. Hopefully one will be able to ask him.
Yeah.
Especially if he does win this match.
Yeah. So
Turtonwald's going to come across in the air for 4. Going to put Swatkins down to 14. Turtonwald going to follow up here. There's the Tickle Monster. And
no extort. Okay.
Wow.
So Turtonwald now is going to be bluffing the Smite. That's why he
Yep.
did not attack with the Syndicated Tides, it looks like. Or maybe he just wants to go for a double block.
Yeah. I mean, he's certainly bluffing a Smite here.
Yeah. I think he's bluffing a Smite, and he's hedging for just a double block. I think that's his line right there. He doesn't have Smite though, right?
Take a look to see if it's in his deck list or not.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has it in his hand right now.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't not even have Smite in his deck. Let's take a look right now. We'll find out. And he does. Oh, does he? Oh, he does have a Smite.
Okay, so
I just thought it was a
Smite.
bluff.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like a bluff, I guess.
Yeah.
But, you know, would you bluff Smite instead of trying to get the trigger? I guess that's the question there.
I mean, definitely a strong play by Owen.
Yeah.
I just really thought it was a bluff. Now, do you think Owen would bluff that? I think it's in his range, no?
See, I don't know. You know, I think the extort trigger is so important, gaining 1 and draining 1, that is it really worth losing that potential life to bluff a Smite for 1 turn? I don't feel like it would be.
Okay. Definitely the game has kind of progressed into Owen's favor. Owen Turtlewald now has an army of guys. He drew the lands that he needed to draw, and he's able to play his type of game that he wants to play.
Yeah. You know, Swatkins does follow up here with a 6 mana spell there. He does have one of those maze creatures there in the Maze Behemoth.
Yes.
So that joins the fray, giving all those multicolored creatures trample.
Yeah, it would have been nice for that Golgari Longlegs to still be around because that is a hybrid creature with a multicolored creature.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it died to a Smite. Now, Owen wants to draw into some of his bombs, and he has many of them.
Yeah, he has many bombs. He has an Aetherling in his deck. He has a Lavinia of the 10th. He also
Archon
has
of Justice.
Yeah, he has the big double detain Archon.
Yes.
The Archon of Tremulative.
Yeah. So yes.
And he's also got 1 more looming in his deck as well.
But I mean, Aetherling just could close out a game so quickly.
Well, that's what Aetherling does, my friend.
One of the best cards in Limited, and I think it's making its way into Standard. As you can see, a nice shot there of Reed Duke, William Jensen, and Owen Turtonwald. Kind of interesting here. Turtonwald has many lines of play, and he decides to go with a Knightly Valor on the Windrake. All right. So now I think he's going to get in for 6 points of damage, and Swatkins is probably just going to take this. He has no good blocks here, and I think Swatkins is going to try to just attack back. Maybe he draws a pump spell of some sort, but right now it looks like Owen Turtonwald is a huge favorite this game.
Yeah, I mean he's certainly ahead right now. You know, he's being able to push through some damage in the air with that 4/4 Windrake, assuming that does have Vigilance, so it's certainly ready to block as well. But don't forget about that Soulsworn Spirit that is going to keep pushing through damage because it is unblockable. But here come the Armored Wolf Rider, here comes the Maze Behemoth. Turtonwald at the ready for a double block. You see him moving his creatures. They were already kind of set up for this double block. Almost like he was predicting that this attack was going to take place, which proves to me, Gerard, that maybe A, he doesn't have another spell in his hand, but B, he's not overvaluing that Syndicate Tides.
Yeah, I mean, Owen does have spells. We saw him stumble on mana early in the game. But hey, maybe those spells are expensive spells.
Yeah.
I think I might have saw Tristani's Judgment, which if he draws a 6th land, he's going to immediately cast it and not going to wait for a 7th to extort anyway. So trading there definitely seems fine.
So now you see Swatkins after damage does resolve. The dust is cleared. Second main phase is going to play a Sunspire Griffin, play a land past the turn back. You see in his hand he does have an Avenging Arrow, so Turtonwald's going to come in here. Again with the same attack, 4/4 Windrake that does have Vigilance through that Knightly Valor. Soulsworn Spirit going to be unblockable. Concord Pegasus is going to get in front here. Damage is going to resolve. Swatkins move down to 6.
This is going to be
Turtenwald with an Agoraphobia is going to use all of his mana this
And
turn.
a Stealer Seekers. So it was not a Tristani Judgment in Turtenwald's hand.
So now there's Avenging Arrow. It's going to take care of the Knightly Valor and the Windrake. So Watkins is going to untap. He's going to draw. See if he can catch back up here, as it is 6-9 in this game. He's going to play a Golgari Guildgate and pass the turn back.
All right, so he has no good attacks here. He's just probably going to have to pass the turn and kind of hope for the best.
And the one creature that matters the most here for Turtenwald is that unblockable 2/1 in Soulsworn Spirit.
Is that an inspiration in his hand?
That does look like it is an inspiration that was drawn for the turn. Turtenwald, taking a look at his deck list, he does have one of those. Maybe he wants to start his turn off with inspiration. Maybe he just wants to get the attack step over with first. But inspiration will give him a little bit of information.
Yeah.
Let him know what he can be working with here as he draws 1. He draws 2. Frostburn, weird, one of those 2 cards that he does draw.
And a Pegasus,
Yeah.
it looks like. So he's able to go Island Pegasus if that's exactly what he did draw. I think he wants to swing in only with a 2/1, and he does just that.
Comes to the same conclusion, going to put Swatkins down to 4. Turtenwald going to tap that Plains, play that Island, play that Concordia Pegasus, pass the turn back.
Okay. Now I think next turn he's able to swing with everything. Oh wow.
Right, so second gate takes care of the Soulsworn Spirit. So immediately you saw Swatkins take that gate, put it into play right off of the top. -2/-2 over there to Soulsworn Spirit and pass the turn back. So now the game changes drastically.
Yeah, really.
Swatkins is at 4.
Yeah.
But again, Turtenwald now with no great attacks.
Wow, is that a dramatic rescue?
Ooh, that does look like. Is that a dramatic
Yeah,
rescue
it
that he
is.
drew for the turn?
Wow, that's such a great draw. All Owen Turtenwald has to do right now is dramatic rescue the Griffin, attack Swatkins down to 1 life with his flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that was a dramatic rescue.
Now, does he want to use it that aggressively, or does he want to play it a little bit more defensively? Again, I think that he does want to take the aggressive approach with the card. Maybe he's asking his teammates here, William Jensen, Reed Duke. Maybe they're asking for help. Maybe Owen's confirming that's what he wants to do. As you see, Huey kind of looking on here. You also see that Jensen is up a game now against Gagnon in the middle. DiDonato is up a game against Reed Duke. We cut back to the Turtenwald match. He does dramatic rescue. He's going to come across for 3, puts Swatkins down to 1. Follow-up play is Frostborn Word, pass the turn back. He's empty-handed. Swatkins is going to need a good one.
Yep, definitely. Now, I think that maybe Turtenwald should have held a Frostborn Weird just because he has 3 different flyers.
Okay.
So even if Swatkins were to draw another flyer, he would still lose.
Sure.
And maybe, even though these guys played already, maybe Swatkins has something like a Merciless Eviction in his deck where Turtenwald would still be able to have a follow-up creature.
Understood.
Yeah. All right, but no, and Turtenwald is also up a game. So it looked like William Jensen was going to have a rough time, but he did win game 1. Owen Turtenwald won game 1, but for their team, Reed Duke lost game 1.
So I think we're going to... I'm not sure if we're going to cut back here and give away premium or not yet.
Sure.
We're going to find out here as, we do see the wide shot. See Reed Duke kind of battling here, back against the wall, down a game here against DiDonato.
Looks like a damage race. All the creatures are turned sideways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're going to cut over to Jensen and Gagnon, so I think we'll take the opportunity to give that premium giveaway after this match.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In between
yeah.
that and the booster draft for you guys.
Yeah. Good idea there. All right, so Donato untaps and draws. I see is it a Dispel in Donato's hand?
I see a Mystic Genesis over there for sure.
Mystic Genesis, and I think a Dispel as well. Yeah,
It
so
looks like he's a blue-green deck here. Reed going to do some blocking. You can see from a distance. You see Jensen also talking a little strategy there to Turtenwald, trying to figure out what's going on. As you see, DiDonato really needs to take down this match, and we see a handshake here from Reed Duke, so it looks like DiDonato does win the match. Reed Duke does extend the hand, so DiDonato does win the match. He is up 2-0, so Jensen, Turtenwald, I think it's on these two.
yeah, back against the wall, but both of them are up a game.
Yep.
So, where would you want to be right now? Would you rather be up a match and down 2 games, or down a match and up 2 games?
Boy, it's tough, right?
It is, right?
You see Reed slide over here, and that's the thing. If you're Swatkins and Gagnon right now, okay, look at the 3-headed monster that's just been assembled
Sure,
here.
yeah.
This is a little bit difficult. Yes, Reed got smashed, but he can apply his services elsewhere here. Not to say that Turtenwald or Jensen needs them, but it's certainly pretty scary.
Yes, definitely. And it looks like Gagnon is mulliganing to 6.
Yep.
So now where would you rather be? I wouldn't mind being down a match if I'm up a game, and In one of the matches, my opponent is mulliganing down to 6.
You know, it's kind of funny, right? Like, on both sides of it, you feel pretty good. Like, if you're Reed right now, you're like, all right, I did lose, but my teammates are both up the game. And, I mean, my teammates are Owen Turnbull and William Jensen.
Yes.
On the flip side, if you're Di Donato, it's like, all right, well, we're up a match. Yes, we're down a game in each one, but, I mean, that's magic. You're going to lose a game. That's why they play best out of 3. All we got to do is win one of these 2.
Yeah. So, as you see in Gagnon's hand, Wojciech Habadir is also an Aurelia.
Yeah.
Only 2 lands, so that Aurelia might not come down for a while.
And when it comes down, look out, ladies.
Yeah. So all Gagnon wants to do is pretty much draw lands. I think that's a Martial Glory.
That is correct. He does draw Martial Glory for the turn. We'll see what 2-drop he wants to play. It looks like he has a bit of a decision.
Yeah, I believe he has
like,
2 2-drops.
Yeah, and it looks like he's you know, running them over with his teammates. Wow, how do I want to start this game off? Wojciech Halberdier or my other option? He's going to go with the Halberdier and just pass the turn back.
Yeah, Wojciech Halberdier always good on turn 2.
Yeah.
You know, 3 power just really gets in there. So can't really complain with a mulligan to 6 when you start off with a draw like that.
Jensen going to play a Plains here. He's going to follow that up with a Tithe Drinker.
All right, Extort and Lifelink.
Yep. So the 2-1 comes into play. Probably at the ready here to trade with that Wojciech Halberdier, just given the opportunity, as that's a fantastic trade.
Definitely. Gagnon will most likely save his guy with the Martial Glory.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. There you see on the screen the Tithe Drinker. Just pretty much strictly better than Syndicate of Tides for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're going to play Orzhov anyway.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they line up very similarly. 2 toughness on the Syndicate of Ties might make it a little bit better, but at the end of the day, I would believe that Tithe Drinker is probably better.
Yeah, with the lifelink.
Yeah, as Jensen is going to play a Dimir Gilgit, he's going to pass the turn back. Both his creatures are going to come to the red zone because that Riot Biker does have to do that. That is the rules of the card.
All right, and there's going to be a Martial Glory. So he'll get in for extra damage and save his Wojciech Halberdier.
So in for 5. Jensen will gain 2, so it'll be a total of 3.
Sure.
Yeah, that's going to be dealt this turn. Gagnon does have a Plains to pass the turn back, so he does find his 3rd land drop, so he's doing okay. You know, there's a small mana stumble there at the beginning. Jensen untaps, he's going to play, I can only imagine, yeah, he's going to play that black Gatekeeper. He's got so many of those.
Yes, so many of those. All right, so let's see what Gagnon draws. Ooh, can't make it out. I believe he has an Active Treason in his hand, along with the Aurelia.
The card that he doesn't have in his hand, however, Gerard, is a 4th land. You know, you also take a look at his hand right now, and you see the 3-1 that does get double strike.
Yes.
From Gatecrash, the Odoron Veteran.
Okay.
So
yeah. So maybe if he draws a 4th land, he'll play that. A lot of people don't give that card a lot of respect. Personally, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But I see some people playing with it. Kind of more of a fringe type card.
Yeah, I mean, there are moments where it's good, but I think the bad oftentimes comes up more than the good does, especially because of 1 toughness. You do have to assemble battalion, and there are just better battalion creatures. As you do see Gagnon, he does have to throw away the Riot Piker, but he does get in 4 points of damage here with the Viashino First Blade. So that Ubulsar Gatekeepers, excuse me, doing a number right now on Gagnon.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Gagnon should be even trying to attack or trying to deal any damage because of the Aurelia?
I mean, you know, the Riot Pikers is going to die anyway, so you might as well get some damage across because it does have to attack every turn, so he's able to get in 4 points of damage that way. And then, you know, then you can kind of work your way into maybe a board stall, clog up the board. It's not like Jensen's deck kills quickly anyway.
I know, yeah, that's exactly the reason.
And then Aurelia can take over. But I think, like, his opening turns for this game, I think they're perfectly reasonable.
Okay, that's fair.
Now Jensen's going to play Unflinching Courage. Wow. That's going to turn some things around here because now the Gatekeeper is going to be a 4/6.
4/6 lifelink.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Very tough for a Boros deck to handle.
Yeah, the one thing a Boros deck would prefer not to play against is something or someone that can gain a lot of life. And also, keep in mind as well, Gerard, that thing is a 4/6. That's huge.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing that really answers it is something like an Angelic Edict.
Yeah, Smite does a decent job. But again, you know, you have to take a look at Gagnon's deck list to see if it does have a Smite looming.
A Smite type of deck.
Yeah, I mean, a Boros deck, typically not a Smite type of deck.
Yeah, so Gagnon tries to get back for 4 damage there, but he's definitely losing this race the way it is right now.
Yeah, Civic Saber here to suit up, make that Viashino a little bit bigger, but you know, he's just trading points of damage here, but this favors Jensen in a big way.
Yes, for sure. Let's see if Jensen has a follow-up play here. He does have pretty much most of his colors. He has 3 black sources, 2 green sources, a blue source, and 2 white sources. So
You see Jensen kind of consulting his teammates right now as well, saying, what do you think I should do this turn? You know, Reed's by his side, asking, helping.
All right,
So this is the gatekeeper that's going to gain 7, and this is the reason that we brought up that he has the 8 guild gates in his deck to go along with his gatekeepers, is because these gatekeepers are all very good cards to be able to activate the ability.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised that Reed thought William Jensen's match would be really tough, just because it looks like he has all the cards he wants against the Boros deck.
Yeah, you're going to see Active Treason here take that gatekeeper. Gagnon's going to push in some damage here. He's going to gain some life back, which is a momentary reprieve from what's going on here. You know, he kind of wants to extend the game again so he can try to take over Aurelia, but I don't know if he's ever going to make it to that point here.
He's missing too many lands right now.
Yeah.
That's the one thing with the Boros deck. Mulliganing really hurts it.
Yep.
You know, because you need to have the perfect cards in the right order. Yep. You know, you want to come out quick with a 2-drop, with a 3-drop, with a 4-drop. You want to have a combat trick or a removal spell. But if you're drawing your 2-drop on turn 7 or 8, that's not going to be that good for you.
Yeah, not at all. So Gagnon's going to draw a card here. He draws a Skinbrand Goblin. That's the 2/1 for 2 that can blood rush for 1 red to give a creature, an attacking creature, +2/+1. But again, how much does that help right now? Not very much.
Yeah, Gagnon down to 10 life here.
You see Jensen being aggressive with those gatekeepers. You know, he could have kept back that 2/4, the green one, and he decided, no, absolutely not. I'm in the driver's seat here. I'm at 20. I'm the aggressive deck right now. I can cash in this Glue Stone to draw a card and keep the pressure up on you depending on what I draw. And Boros, let me tell you, does not play defense or catch up very well.
Definitely. And you know, every time you have something like an Armadillo Cloak with the Unflinching Courage, anytime you have a Life Flicker, you want a damage race.
Yeah.
And William Jensen is doing just that. He's going to sack that Clue Stone.
And this is very telling, right? No more attacks from Viashino with the Civic Saber.
Yeah.
It's on defense. You know, that's, I don't want to say that Gagnon is waving the white flag, but that's only what that symbolizes. When Boros slows down or stops, and you see Jensen with his 5-color, 8 Gilded deck pressing into advantage, got to be feeling pretty gosh darn good if you're Jensen right now.
Definitely. All right, so there's a trade. Gagnon will go down to 6 life.
Yeah, Jensen up to 24.
Yeah. What's the follow-up here, Cedric?
What's up with what looks like I believe that's the white gatekeeper there?
Making a 2/2 knight.
Yeah?
Yeah, he gets to make a
these
2/2
gatekeepers are
reboot
awesome.
token.
Wow. Man, these gatekeepers are good.
Very powerful.
Yeah. And that's an extension of the hand, so Jensen's going to win the match 2-0, and now it's all on Turtenwald.
All right, so we're going to switch over to Owen Turtenwald versus Swatkins.
Yeah, versus Brian Swatkins. See what kind of game state we're going to walk into there, get our life totals updated. And you do see Jensen and Duke looking on now. Jensen saying, I've done my job. Reed trying to help the best that he can. You see Donato saying, all right, Brian, I got my win. Now we just have to beat former player of the year. Can the 3 of us beat the 3 of them?
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a moment.
If these 3 want to make it to the finals, you can't say they didn't earn it, because they would have beaten Turtenwald, Jensen, and Duke twice in the tournament to make it to the finals.
Yeah, pretty insane. All right, so they're discussing some plays, as you can see.
Yep.
We have a nice overhead view of the players. All right, so Owen looks over to William.
What to do.
All right, there we go.
We cut into quite the game state here.
Yeah, still pretty early in the game.
Yeah, we see Turtenwald here with New Prop Guild Mage and the Hobzob 1/4. That when it attacks, you can pay a white and tap a creature. Lotless Troll, Centaur Healer, and Concordia Pegasus on Swatkin's side.
Swatkin's side kind of looks like, when looking at the board, it could be playing like a junk reanimator deck from Standard, right?
Yeah, I mean,
without that Pegasus,
his card quality is pretty high.
Yeah.
See Lotless Troll, Limited All-Star.
Yeah, very, very powerful creature. All right, Owen's going to attack for 2 here. And Swatkin's going to block.
Then we're just going to play
Syndicate of Tides.
Pass the turn back, so no land.
Yeah, I feel like Owen's been short on mana many of the games I've watched him.
Yeah, it's really felt that way.
Yeah, and I believe he's playing 17 lands. That's something, Owen and Reed, unlikely for Owen to be playing anything less.
Yeah, pretty traditional. And the one thing you're not going to find either Gerard is you're not going to find any guild gates in this deck. Look at his mana base right now of 9 islands and 8 9 islands and 8 plains. The reason you're not going to find any guild gates is because Jensen has them all.
Okay,
They have 8 in this deck. I can't imagine they had an extra one lying around.
Yeah.
So now we're going to see, I believe that is alive and well.
Yes. So if you want to gain 8 life, put a 3/3 token into play. Kind of reminds me of Call the Herd.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Call the Herd, a flashback. This has a fuse.
Yeah, I mean, 8 life, certainly nothing to ignore right now, too. So it puts the 3/3 Centaur into play. Turtenwald's going to do some blocking here, it looks like.
Yeah, he'll just double block.
Yep. Take the opportunity to kill that Centaur healer.
All right. And Turtenwald will untap. He really needs a land here. Look at him place the card down, just like the bonfire.
Yep.
But no land.
So we do have an update here in our other match here. If you wanted to see, you know, the ultimate final,
Sure.
Nezenskara and Demestrio do win their match. So those three players, excuse me, will be going to the finals, playing the winner of this match, as it does come down to Turtenwald and Swatkins.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what Swatkins wants to do this turn here.
What do you think a good line of play is here? Does he have any solid attacks?
I mean, no attacks that I'm really in love with, right? I mean, Lotleth's Troll, you know, as powerful as that card is in Constructed and Limited, while it's certainly very, very good, it's kind of risky to
definitely
throw a bunch of cards away on it, especially when you know that Turtenwald has a dramatic rescue that won him the first game. It's horribly risky. He also has a creature that does say detain on it right on the board.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's difficult to want to move in on that card. The Centaur doesn't have any great attacks here. As you see the players, Swatkins, Gagnon, and Donato trying to figure out what they want to do this turn. You know, do I want to bluff a trick? You know, what is my best play this turn? You see they're definitely working it through.
Yeah, I mean, Turtenwald just has a 1/4, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, so it's tough to have any profitable attacks unless Swatkins is willing to commit a trick or removal spell of some sort. So
see this right here, that's the information game.
Okay.
As you're going to see the Gatekeeper come down. He's going to get a white knight there. A new knight at 2/2.
Sure.
That does have vigilance. But that's an information game. If you saw Swatkins and Donato talking back and forth, how much information there are they giving up to Turtenwald, Jensen, and Duke?
You don't know. I mean, maybe Reed Duke's job is just to find the information that the opponents are given.
Yeah.
And then he'll relay that to William Jensen, and William Jensen will tell Turtenwald what to do.
Yeah, because, you know, as you're going to see a Cloudfin Raptor here from Turtenwald and just pass the turn back, you know, it seemed like there was a bit of an argument there between Swatkins and Donato on what to do for the turn. You know, play this, play that, play this. It's like, all right, well, now you're just letting me know that you have 2 plays.
Exactly.
So that's step 1. And anything that you can infer from the conversation that the opponents are having, you have to take.
Of course.
And try to use it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, and so far we haven't seen Turtenwald, William Jensen, or Duke, you know, argue at all. Just kind of be very smooth here. So, oh wow, look at this, Cedric. Swatkins.
We saw this last game too.
Yeah.
Swatkins is not afraid to turn all these guys sideways. With Turtenwald only having 2 white mana and saying, hey, you got to block now.
Do you think that's maybe a reason why he did it this turn? Because he doesn't have to fear something like an Azorius Charm or a Dramatic Rescue, which you saw last game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could definitely. So right now, what are the tricks? Aerial Maneuver.
Yeah.
Smite. Anything else? Not to come to my top of the head?
Yeah, not the top. I mean, Swift Justice is one.
Sure.
You know, Turtenwald, ready to resolve damage. You're going to see the Centaur take down a new prop Guild Mage.
Okay.
You know, a little bit of damage comes through here. We'll see if Swatkins has a play, but he does
wow.
have the North
No
Guild Gate.
play?
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Turtenwald still without a 4th land. Draws a Nightly Valet for the turn. You see him separate his hand. He's got the eyes in the sky. He's got the 0-1 Cloudfin Raptors not doing very much right now. And he's just dying to hit a 4th land here because it doesn't look like he has much of a trick right now, Gerard.
Yeah, I mean, Turtenwald's on 7 life here, and his defense is not that strong. He has an 0-1, a 1-3, and a 1-4.
The blocks sure don't look great either.
Yeah. Seriously, these blocks are... All right, Swatkins says, I declare my attack step, and here I go. Everybody's coming in. Let's see what Owen can do. He's double blocking and maybe chumping?
Is it time? Is it
I don't
time
know.
for a chump block? Because, you know, Turtenwald is trying to get, you know, by double blocking here, he's eking out small advantages.
Yes, exactly.
And
Which
giving
he needs to
himself,
do.
giving himself a way to just keep trying to lay the game, keep trying to lay the game so I can draw lands, so I can actually put these cards into play that actually do something.
Yeah. Now, would you want to block with the Cloudfin Raptor, or would you say... normally, I don't like chump blocking, but because the Lothian Troll does have trample, it might be relevant.
Yeah, I mean, you throw it in front of it. You throw it in front of the Gatekeeper, the 2/4. You take 3. You go down to 4. You've got 2, a 4 toughness guy and a 3 toughness guy there in the Pegasus and the Knight, and you just say, I mean, is it time to let this Cloudfin Raptor go? Because let's say that Turtenwald does draw a land, play something to evolve it. It's just a 1/2.
Okay.
You know, it's not even going to battle that well in combat. So maybe it's time to hit the escape button on the Cloudfin Raptor.
All right, so he decides to go to 2.
Yeah.
Might be the right play, might not. We don't know.
Follow up just an Ors. I mean, I say it's just an Orzhov key rune, but
it's relevant here.
A creature is pretty good, and as Turtenwald draws a security blockade.
Okay. That's gonna do something.
So that's gonna evolve and be a creature here.
Yeah.
The 2/2 Knights. That's not the worst draw in the world for Turtenwald. In this situation, he is again only at 2 life though.
And it's actually pretty good that he didn't block with that Cloudfin Raptor.
Yeah.
Now the Cloudfin Raptor could actually do something. Instead of it being an 0-1, it's now a 1-2.
Yep.
Yeah, so world of a difference right there.
Yeah, look at Turtenwald kind of gumming up the board right now. So, Swatkins were attacking with all 4 of his creatures. Assuming he doesn't have a creature in his hand to discard, Turtenwald maybe puts the Pegasus in front of Swatkins' Pegasus. He puts his 1/4 in front of Swatkins. I don't know, his 2/4, so that doesn't die. He puts 2/2 in front of the Lotleth Troll, and he puts his 1/2 Cloudfin Raptor in front of the 1/4 Orzhov Kirun. No trample damage. He does have to let the Knight go, but it's not. If he lets the Lotleth Troll through, he just dies. So.
I think Turtenwald might have just stabilized.
Yeah, maybe those are his blocks, maybe those aren't. I'm just looking at him very briefly here.
Sure.
Maybe you're able to put the 1/4 in front of the Lotleth Troll. You move around your guys a little bit, and you don't take any damage. But maybe he did just hit his stabilization point.
Okay. And as you see, Swatkins talking to his teammates here. Let's see what Swatkins has.
Is a spell. That's a Tristani's Judgment.
Tristani's Judgment. Just when I thought Turtenwald might have stabilized.
Yeah.
All right, so he cannot attack with the key room because he doesn't have mana to activate it. So now, how will Turtenwald block?
Well, taking care of that Hazada Snare squad was just a big deal with the Tristani's Judgment. As you saw, Swatkins, Gagnon, and Dionato trying to figure out what to target with it. Turtenwald going to do some blocking here, put the Cloudfin Raptor there, put the Knight there, regeneration on the Lotleth Troll. Turtenwald looks like he's ready to pass priority.
Yeah, these are great blocks by Turtenwald.
Yeah. Okay, so
he's moving around. I'm not sure if Turtenwald's blocks. All right,
yeah,
so those are his blocks.
And so it looks like these are final, but you're not sure if he's come to a decision yet. Maybe he wants to go here.
Yeah, he's still thinking.
Yeah, it looks like Swatkins may have been a little bit hasty on the regeneration. He says,
yeah.
I'm going to regenerate anyway. It's fine. I don't have anything else to do this turn.
Okay, so pretty much the same blocks.
Yeah.
And
Night
it's not
Token
that
bites
bad.
the dust. Yeah, so Turtenwald ends the turn at 2, but is with 1 less guy.
Ooh.
Finally draws the plains.
Draws his 4th land. This is going to be really important.
Drew that card emphatically.
Yeah. And those blocks were, fine. Owen pretty much got a free roll from the security blockade.
Yep.
He still has a card around, prevent a damage. Might be relevant next turn.
See what Swatkins just drawn for this turn.
I think Turtenwald has a Hussar Patrol.
That would be a heck of a play right now.
That'd be pretty good, yeah.
So here comes the Orzhov Guildgate. In come everybody. Yet again here from Swatkins.
If that's the case, it will evolve the Cloudfin Raptor as
Yes,
well.
it will.
I see an Eyes in the Skies, and I think it's a Hussar Patrol. Let's see what Owen decides to go with.
So here is Hussar Patrol, the 2/4 flash with Vigilance. He's going to evolve the Cloudfin Raptor. It's time for blocking. He's going to block here. He's going to put the Hussar Patrol in front of the Lotleth Troll. He's going to put the Cloudfin Raptor in front of the Pegasus. He's going to take what looks to be 1 damage.
Going down
Go
to 1.
down to 1. Swatkins is going to go up to 29. Lotleth Troll's going to get regenerated.
All right.
He's staying alive.
Is this a Centaur Herald by Swatkins? Is that what he drew this turn?
It is
wow.
and has the mana to activate it. So the Turtenwald's not out of the woods yet here as he draws a card. It is not a land.
Oh, I think it's a Windrake, though, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not actually the worst thing in the world here.
So he has Eyes in the Skies. He could also play a Windrake and leave open the plane, so he's able to use the security blockade to prevent a damage. Some really interesting lines here.
He is hanging on by a thread right now.
Yeah, that's what I would call it, and I think it is. Oh, no. At first, Turtenwald thought, I'm going to play the Windrake, but maybe not. We'll see what happens here. Turtenwald really has to think about this.
Yeah, that's how you see Jensen, you see Duke. Yeah, Jensen advising him, Duke kind of looking on a little bit. Huey saying, "Why don't we try this line? Is it obvious that the Windrake plus security blockade line is correct?" Yeah, and so Turtenwald makes his play. It is just a Windrake, and he does pass the turn back.
Yeah, it seems the fact that Reed Duke has kind of been letting Turtenwald and Jensen, maybe because they've been there longer, they understand the game, they understand the matchup more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right, Swatkins is activating his Orzhov key rune.
Everybody coming in again. We've seen this the past couple of turns here. Let's see what Turtenwald's blocks are going to be. He's hit 1 life.
Yeah. All right. So Pegasus there.
This there.
Cloudfin Raptor there.
Activate
preventing a
security
damage.
blockade. Regenerate.
Okay.
Did he get out of this turn alive too?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
All right.
So now Turnwall needs a land right here. Oh, and he
Draws
draws
an
it.
island.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
Such a
boy.
clutch draw. So now he's able to have something like Eyes in the Skies with security blockade. I also think he might have a Knightly Valor in his hand, which he could, if it is a Knightly Valor.
Scary. Scary to play, right?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, he could just start going on the offense because he's going to beef up his guy and get a
2/2.
Yeah, get a 2/2.
It's kind of scary because like your Knightly Valor player certainly has some merit, right?
Yeah, sure.
As you say, he can actually start getting on the offense now, trying to cut down the number of draw steps. So Watkins has to get out of the situation. The alternative is he plays that Eyes in the Sky and has security blockade available too. Because what does he want to have his focus on? How important is the security block right now? Preventing that one damage, because it was very important the past 2 turns, but this Knightly Valor, the ability to have that on change everything. As you see Jensen and Turtenwald kind of talking about it a little bit here about, hey, what do I want to do? So it looks like Turtenwald's reaching. It looks like
I think it's a Knightly Valor.
Yep.
All right.
On the Concordia Pegasus, there's your Knight token. Here comes your Hussar Patrol and your Concordia Pegasus. So that's
And that's how you attack with Vigilance, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you bring those guys forward.
Yeah, so everybody understands, no confusion.
That is an attack for 5.
Yeah. Ooh, what was that? Looks like Swatkins drew a spell. Was it a Griffin?
Yes, is
He flashed it quick. It might have been the 2/3 flying Griffin.
the thing here too, Gerard, is that Swatkins just draws a rule spell, game's over.
Sure.
But there's nothing Turtenwald can do about that. He can't beat a rule spell at any point. So there's no reason to try to
All
play
right,
around it.
And it is the 2/3 Griffin.
Alright, so Turtenwald's going to untap, still alive, draws a card. It's
With
an island.
Wow. Okay, so this is really good now for him. This is what he wants. He wants to draw out of this mana screw so he can play all the spells in his hand, and he wants to have security blockade up as well. So now let's look. Swatkins has a 1/3 Pegasus. He has a 2/3 Griffin. Does Owen have any?
Another Knightly Valor, this
wow.
time on the Windrake. Oh my goodness. So now another 2/2 Vigilant Knight's going to come into play.
Yeah.
And now Turtenwald is really starting to push an advantage. Now he's really getting going here.
What a game by Turtenwald.
He is trying to turn this game around, and these attacks are certainly, this attack is fail-proof. What can go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so both flyers are coming in with Vigilance, and I think Swatkins is just going to have to take the 7 damage here.
He's going to get in front here. What is this?
Ooh, that could go wrong. Not the end of the world.
How many flyers does he have? So he has 2 flying
Yes.
blockers. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers total versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, but he has the security blockade.
Okay, yep.
So that's why it was so important for him to draw an island that turn or a plains. So does Watkins brick off?
Go very long legs, pass the turn back.
All right.
See what Turtenwald can draw this turn. We do know about that Eyes in the Skies. He draws Soulsworn Spirit, the 2/1 Detain.
Yeah, so I think Turtenwald right now, he just wants to attack with his Pegasus, and he wants to pass the turn. What do you think about that?
Boy, oh boy.
At end of turn, he could either Eyes in the Skies, or if Swatkin wants to attack, he could Eyes in the Skies, and he could populate one of his knights.
Yep.
So, and for example, if Swatkins doesn't attack, Turtenwald could just say, okay, I'll just do an Inspiration.
Yeah, that's true, because he's been holding on Inspiration for a long time. And I think the other card in Owen's hand, I'm not positive here. And okay, I'm definitely wrong. There's no dramatic rescue there. I thought there might be a chance, but
I believe
there's no
the,
dramatic rescue.
The Archon? The
The Archon Tremulative is what's in his hand right now.
Yeah.
He's a little ways away from that. I mean, you can say that he's only 1 land away, but I think he wants to play that with an additional land so that he can have security blockade up.
Maybe. It depends.
Maybe.
It depends. If he does go Eyes in the Skies this turn, that's 2 extra guys. So he probably doesn't need the security blockade. So it's close. All right. Let's see what Watkins draws. This is a classic game of, I think I'm going to win, and all of a sudden it's slipping away.
Yep.
And it's like, oh man, what went wrong this game? How
These
could I
are
not
my
deal one more damage?
These are my favorite limited games because Turtenwald's been at 1 life, and the pressure has been on him to not make a single error.
Yeah.
And at the same time, give himself the opportunity to draw lands to get out of this while fading draw steps from Swatkins.
Yeah.
These are my favorite limited games here. And now you see all 3 players from the Swatkins, Gagnon, and Diadonato side talking things through. What am I supposed to do this turn? Because to me, that smite was huge.
Oh yeah, I mean it was good. You know, I don't think it was insane, but let's see.
Diadonato Swatkins reaching. Doesn't look like he has anything. Eyes in the sky here from Turtenwald.
All right, I'm pretty sure he's going to populate one of the knights. It seems like that would make the most sense. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
So there's your knight token.
There's
your bird token.
All right. So Turtenwald will untap. He will draw for his turn just in a second. Let's see. Is it a land?
It is not. It's an agoraphobia.
That's pretty good.
So let's see. What are our best targets over there for Swatkin's side for agoraphobia? Is it just straight up the Golgari Longlegs?
Maybe, but why decide now? Why not inspiration first?
Okay.
Dig deeper. As long as you draw land, you could play your spell and have the blockade open like you wanted, Cedric.
But as you said, as long as you draw land.
As long as you draw land. Yeah. But
dangerous.
If not, you could reevaluate. I mean, Turtenwald now has 7 blockers.
How do you tap for the inspiration?
You leave open island.
Leave an island? Okay.
Yeah. Leave him an island and blockade. Let's see if Turtenwald takes the line I suggest.
Bit of a risk. Scary line there.
Yeah, I mean, at 1 life, anything you do is scary.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like
you're living on borrowed time, it feels like. Definitely right about that.
So let's see what Turtenwald wants to do. As you see, 40 minutes has elapsed so far.
All right. He does start with inspiration.
Yep, let's see.
Hit
1, 2, Frostburn Weird, and an island.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. He could even just play Frostburn Weird here. What do you think about that?
As opposed to the agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is basically a removal spell right now where Frostburn Weird is just another blocker.
Yeah. It's cool either way. All right,
he's going to go Frostburn Weird. He's going to evolve the Griffin.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Cloud from the Raptor. Excuse me. So that's a big deal. Let's see what Swatkin draws now. Swatkin has another Guildgate in his hand. Did he draw another land?
I'm not sure. I know he has at least 1 land in his hand.
You see him, and you see the way he's thumbing his cards right now? Because he's thumbing his cards in such a way that it looked like he was ready to put a land in play tapped, and then he did.
All right, so there it is.
Whoa.
7. Oh wow, Tessa.
Jeez.
What is Turtenwald going to do about that? Well, he has the answer in his hand.
What does he have? What did I miss?
The aquaphobia.
Well, I mean, agoraphobia, sure. I mean, that takes care of Tessa from killing him, yes.
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't take care of the rest of the text on Tessa.
Sure.
On Tessa. And that's the big deal. How's Turtenwald going to deal damage now?
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's
that's
tough.
the big thing. We'll bring Tessa up on for you. This is the guild champion of the Orzhov. Vigilance, protection from creatures. So Turtenwald having agoraphobia there was key, but now you look at this. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy that creature, and you get a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying into play. So Turtenwald was kind of pressing his advantage coming back, as we saw with those Nightly Valors and the Flyers. Oh boy. And other thing, Gerard, is he's blue-white.
I know he is. Maybe he has to set up a big turn and just alpha attack. That's definitely a possibility. So let's see what Swatkins is going to do. What do you think Swatkins wants to draw here? What do you think? I'm not too sure. He's got a lot of lands. He has 2, 4, 6, 8. So Owen does have some powerful rares in his deck. He does. So Owen has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. So the board is completely clogged up.
Yes, it is.
All right. There's the Gatekeeper, and that will take out one of Owen Turtenwald's knights. So as you can see, Swatkins does a little math. He starts counting the creatures. Why not, right? So Turtenwald, he has some rares, right, Cedric?
Yeah,
what,
I mean, we
what
know
can he draw?
we know he has the Aetherling, which
Okay.
doesn't look great here, oddly enough. This is going to tap a bunch of mana. We know he has Archon of the Tremulative, which looks like he's tapping mana for it. Now he's tapping 7. There's your Archon.
Sure.
There's your Evolve. We're
What
going
else
to see
does
a
he
double
have?
detain. But the big card that he has right now that might actually be able to win him this game is Laving of the 10th.
Yes, so he could play this.
Yep.
Okay, maybe we could pull that up on screen.
Yeah.
All right, it has protection from red.
Yeah,
we don't
Laving
care.
of the 10th. Yeah, it has protection from red.
We don't
really
care about that. No,
Yeah.
but what do we care about?
We care about the fact that it detains every creature that costs 4 or less.
4 or less. All right, so he could kind of use this as a falter
Yep.
effect and just attack, because Watkins is only at 15 life.
Yep.
And Turtenwald has way more than 15 damage on the table.
Yeah.
So we'll we'll see how things play out
the
here.
other thing that's key here too, Gerard, detain each non-land permanent. So
Yes.
he's going to detain
The key rune.
the key rune,
Yeah.
which might be very important if that's the plan that he's trying to set up here.
That's definitely the plan.
Yeah.
You know, because Turnwall knows his deck, William Jensen knows his deck, and they're thinking ahead. So let's see if this is how the game is going to end.
You know what Swatkins is thinking?
What is he thinking?
How am I going to deal point of damage? I need to deal 1 point of damage right now.
1 damage. You know, he's probably hoping for something like a Toil and Trouble. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
true.
like, all right, I'll pretty much sign and blood you.
Yep.
Draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life, I win. So I don't know if Swatkins has it in
I
his
want to
deck.
take a look at Swatkins'
Let's take a
deck
look
list. I
at
wanna
his
see.
outs right now.
Yeah, I want to see what is he trying to draw to win this game, because you know the funny thing here too is that that Black Gatekeeper, that would have been for the win a long time ago.
Oh,
Would've
yes, it
removed
would
the
have.
blocker, but that showed up to the party a little bit late here, as he's going to count his deck and see how many cards are left right now.
Who's going to get deck first? You know what? Maybe Turnwall has less cards. And Turnwall's like, oh, I have less cards. Maybe he could play it like, oh, I'm going to get decked. He could turn to William Jensen and say, oh, I have less cards. I'm going to get decked. And then surprise him. Surprise him with his legendary creature that will detain everything on Swatkin's side.
Try to give away some free information,
Yeah.
but it's not free information at all.
Exactly.
You know, we see, I mean, I'm taking a look at the deck list here. You know, it's crazy to think about the draws that Swatkins had available. During that point where Turnwall was barely holding on, he had access to 2 unflinching courage.
Oh, wow.
They could have drawn. That right now, not so much.
Not so much.
You know, we take a look over here, Kingpin's Pet
Okay.
with an extort trigger. That'll get the job done. I'm looking for more extort cards right now. Not very many in the list here.
Sure. All right, so Turnwall is going to tap some lands here. Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
Holy Mantle.
Oh wow.
Wow. 1, 2, 3. Is that 5 islands he has? Is this lethal right now?
You see him counting the oh my goodness.
It is. Holy Mantle. He boarded in the Holy Mantle. Because I remember they were talking about, hey, should we main deck it, should we not main deck it? And they said, no, just leave it in your board. This is game 2. He boarded in Holy Mantle, and I believe that's game 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Swatkins sitting there with an avenging
5,
arrow.
9. Yeah. What can he do? Turnwall saying, yeah, I can just pump the Frostborn Weird, and that'll be game.
Oh,
And it is.
wow.
Wow, what a sick game.
Unbelievable win there. Owen Turnwall, William Jensen,
That's
and
awesome.
Reed Duke are going to the finals.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
Wow. The only thing that could have got more exciting if that was game 3.
Yeah.